how times have changed. Stop. The executive, which term in the present context means politicians in power, has the courage to tell the judiciary how to put its house in order by formulating a code of conduct for judges. Stop. What about the code of conduct of the ministers and parliamentarians? Stop. What about the code of conduct for the political parties during elections, often formulated but always violated? Stop. And what about the pervasive corruption in the executive? Stop. One would be inclined to tell the executive to practice honesty and uprightness before it preached, but one refrains from doing so because the sad face is that the judiciary has deteriorated beyond belief, and one no more false morally confident in defending the institution. Stop. Look at the waning public support for the judges and the judiciary. Stop. When three Supreme Court judges were superseded, there was strong public protest against the move, and there were lawyers, public men, and journalists prepared to stand up and be courted. Stop. When there was the move, the transfer High Court judges, this was viewed in the correct perspective as a serious attempt further to discipline the judges. Stop. This instrument was liberally used during the emergency, though because of the censorship. Stop. Formal and informal, the fact of the transfer of 16 judges did not come to light. Stop. It was heartening to discover that there were brave judges in the High Court who were prepared to pay the price for their uprightness. Stop. The nation, a debt of gratitude to them. Stop. The full story of how the government has twisted arm of the judiciary is yet to be told. Stop. Facts remain hidden, though there are occasional rumblings, particularly by retired judges. Mr. Justice Jagmohan Reddy has gone